Bell here. As usual, I forgot to mention, this is a giveaway video. Here we go.
Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. I am so excited that I am somewhat back to regular posting. So today, I have a story to tell you. We're gonna start with Toner. So Wolf is away on a field trip, and it's actually been a very pleasant experience. The boy enjoyed hanging out with his dad. So that was awesome and slightly unexpected. We weren't sure how he would handle Wolf being a chaperone because, you know, sometimes kids get a little about that, you know? I was never thrilled when my mom was a chaperone as a kid because my mom, well, we didn't get along the best when I was a teenager and going on such field trips. I'm doing the 111 vitamin C skin brightening because my skin's a little tired. I'm almost out of this. This is one of the most expensive skincare products I have. And I like wearing it under makeup because it seems to soothe my skin after toner, which makes it all red. And it seems to calm it down and helps keep in the moisture and brighten my skin a little bit. And since dewy skin is all the rage, that's what we're going with. And then for a little extra, I'm using the Skin Fix Barrier Balancing Water Cream as my moisturizer for the day. I really like Skin Fix. It's tied up there for my favorite skincare company, tied up there with Gold Faden. But it's a little more affordable than Gold Faden. Like I can never afford Gold Faden on my own. I can only get it in Allure boxes, and then Allure had an incredible deal as an or not Allure, Icon boxes. And then Ipsy had an incredible deal for an add-on to get a whole second pot of my favorite eye cream at like a ridiculous discount, like $16 for what's normally $140 worth of skincare. So it's one of the benefits of being an Ipsy member, or an Allure member for that matter, is their deals. They have some absolutely top-notch deals on skincare and makeup, way beyond what you're ever going to find at the best Sephora sale. So, yeah. And we're going to put on, speaking of Sephora, our Sephora Best Skin Ever Foundation as the primer. So as I said, Wolf is away on the field trip. He had a good time. He's a little frustrated, as are the kids. And I saw their performance. He went live so I could watch. And they did amazing. And the pup, he's in ROTC. He does unarmed drill. And then he's also technically on the color guard team, although I don't think he'll be competing because he's freaking tall. And all the other junior high kids are not. So he looks strange in the color guard formation, and they're actually graded on that. So he'll get to do football games and Veterans Day and things like that, but he won't get to do actual performances while they're graded. And they're actually on their way back right now. They're in Yellville, so they're actually rather close, but Wolf still has to drop the boy off at Mom and Dad's and visit with them and explain that I'm dying. I'm not dying. I'm just having another flare-up because that's my life. But I'm trying a new combination medicine thing to try to cut it off at the pass. Because see, I figure since flare-ups are brought on by stress, if I try to de-stress medically, which is using my can't think what it's called, my anti-anxiety meds, I might be able to reduce the impact. So I'm trying that, and we'll see how that works. I have a fever, but that's okay. That's normal. I look so freaking pale when I put foundation on, and it's because of the way foundation reflects LED lights. It reflects a lot of the white and not a lot of the color. I do not look this pale in person. Looking in my mirror, it is slightly lighter than my skin tone, but not to the point where I'm a freaking ghost. But on camera, I'm a freaking ghost. But don't worry, by the time I get everything added, it's gonna be fine. By the way, this is a giveaway video. And my name is Belle. I do unboxings, makeup reviews, get ready with me's, some diamond painting, and video games, and whatever else suits my fancy. So if any of that sounds interested, I would love if you would hit that like and follow. I also do a quarterly giveaway, and this is a giveaway video. This is also a refilming of the of the video I did this morning, because that video freaking disappeared. But I am trying some different makeup style, like ways and placement of applying. So this just gives me another opportunity to get it right. Because like the common thing to say right now is to put your blush a little higher and even go up the eye a bit in order to give yourself a bit of a facelift. I have found that looks very strange on me. So I'm trying to find what works for a rounder, puffier, fatter face. And I just don't think that little facelift works. What does work is the Tarte Shape Tape on the eyes. It gives them a little bit of a lift when I get it all done. If I can find my little mini doohickey thing here. So I'm just experimenting. I'm trying to figure out what makes me look not necessarily significantly younger, because I'm 43. There's a limit to how young I'm gonna look. But what makes me look my best? It's always an experiment. So, but anyways, yeah, Wolf is gone. It was an overnight field trip, and I cackled the whole time I was voluntolding him into this. Because I used to be a teacher. I have done many overnight field trips with students. Many, many, many. Including taking 35 plus theater students all the way across the state from Jonesboro to Fort Smith for the Arkansas State Thespian Festival with no chaperones except the bus driver and my father. This was obviously years ago when my father was alive. I had other chaperones, but they backed out on me the day before. And I had to quickly find a fill-in, and when in doubt, cry for daddy. And my dad rushed his happy butt over to Jonesboro, as did my mom. And mom stayed home and mom stayed at my apartment and babysat my dog. I only had one at the time. It was a little toy poodle named Sugar. And dad went on the 3-day field trip with me. And he was excellent, and he was fabulous. And at one point, I had like a breakdown where I was crying because I thought I was doing such a horrible job. And he calmed me down and like helped me through it, which was much, much needed. And I'm not sure any parental chaperone would have been as kind as my dad. So, plus, I loved my dad. I idolized my dad. I could get away with that because my dad was a former principal, and the school was like, oh yeah, he's totally qualified. He can be a chaperone. In fact, the school I was at after that not only let him be a chaperone, they kind of roped him into being the assistant, or not the assistant, but the substitute principal when the principal had to take a day off, and let him drive the van when I took kids on trips. Because we didn't always have enough kids to take a bus. And if we took a 12-person van, I was expected to drive it, and I had crap night vision. So dad drove it for us. But yeah, my dad was pretty awesome. I was very lucky to have the kind of parents that just kind of jumped in and were like, what can we do? What do you need? When I had gallbladder surgery, 2 weeks before a show, they came down, jumped in, helped me finish the set. It still didn't look amazing because there's a limit to how much you can do when you've just had surgery and with a bunch of students, and there was limits. There was limits. But the point is, they hopped their happy butts in the car and came over to Jonesboro from the Twin Lakes area where we lived, or where they lived, and made it happen. And they were amazing. And I don't know how I would ever have gotten through teaching without them. I'm very, very grateful that I never had to figure that out. Where's my... There it is. I'm gonna do the Laura Geller. But Wolf isn't in charge of this field trip, so he's a chaperone. And that means when the kids go have a dinner, he gets assigned between 4 to 6 kids to walk over to wherever they want to have dinner with them and make sure they treat the restaurant with respect, which it's ROTC. Of course they treat the restaurant with respect. Their whole thing for the club is respect, especially when they're in uniform, which they're all in uniform the entire trip. So he had a pretty good trip. They performed really well. He went live on Facebook so I could see it, and that was incredible. And I got to see Little Man perform, and they did amazing. And then they got totally and completely gypped by the judges. The school that my son goes to is known for being basically the best in the state at a lot of things. Not necessarily at sports, but they get the highest test scores. They do amazing on, what do you call it? Quiz Bowl. They're just really smart group of kids. And I'm not just saying that because my kid goes there, although of course that's part of it. I think my kid's amazing. They're really highly ranked and consistently highly ranked amongst their peers. Their band regularly gets to do the Macy's Day Parade or the Rose Parade or the other big parades around the country. Their choirs win tons of awards. It's a really good district if you're into performing arts or ROTC, which my kid is into both. So glad he's going there. I finally found the Il Maquillage and how to use it and make it work and look natural. And now I'm in love with it. I'm still using my favorite highlighter palette, which is the Lorella Fluorescent Fantasy. It has colors that you wouldn't think would work, especially this one, but they are amazing. Highly, highly recommend. I am going with what's called Enchanted, which is a light, almost pinkish gold today, just to try to give myself some extra life before my husband gets home. Because it really upsets him to see me sick, and in the middle of a flare-up, I usually look a little rough. So we're trying our best to look fabulous. So last night was one of the dozen nights I've spent without Wolf since we pretty much started dating. We started dating May 15th, 2021. He moved in the end of June 2021. And we've kind of just been together ever since. Not kind of, we have been together ever since. He's gone on a few work trips, and I think I went on 1 or 2 work trips when I was still working for the urgent care, which was very, very early in our career, but not very many because COVID had kind of shut a lot of my work trips down. Never quite came back. But, you know, it is what it is. We're going to do a different eyeshadow look than we did this morning, just because that did not turn out at all how I wanted it to. So rather than recreate it, I'm going to try to do like a sapphire color since it's September. It's very close to my mother's birthday, and sapphire is her birthstone. It's also one of my favorite stones. So I'm going to see if I can actually get the look that I was kind of wanting this morning instead of the whatever the hell that was that it ended up being. So, I don't mind staying by myself. I'm actually totally happy alone. I prefer being around Wolf. Like, no question. I'd rather have him here than not here. But I don't, like, freak out or anything when he's not. And I am using the Life is a Celebration palette from Lorella, which is by far one of the best palettes, in my opinion, that I have gotten from them. I'll be doing, between Christmas/Yule and New Year, I will be doing a best of series where I go over the best and probably the worst makeup that I've gotten throughout the year. So that's one of many, many things in the works. Technically the first 3 of the advent calendars are zipping their way here. In fact, 2 of them will be here tomorrow. The 3rd one, I made the second to last payment today, the P. Louise. I have 1 more payment in October, and then it will be zooming its way here. Yay. And I did get word today that since they have a US shipping subsidiary, we are definitely getting it. So no more fears that I won't get my P. Louise cruising into Christmas calendar. I was really stressing about that for a while. But anyways, yeah, staying home alone, not that bad. Except the dogs. Because you see, Wolf and I have a queen bed, which is plenty big enough for the 2 of us. It is not, however, big enough for the 2 of us, plus 2 very large dogs. Anna is mostly lab with a little Rottweiler, which makes her a little bit chunkier than your average lab. And Jazz is pit bull and something tall. Sometimes it looks like Great Dane, sometimes it looks like lab, sometimes it looks like, I don't know. But she's big. She is not a tiny dog. And both of them love cuddling with me when I go to bed, because I go to bed a little bit earlier than Wolf. I usually am in bed by 10 o'clock. Wolf stays up till somewhere between 1 and 3, depending on what time he has to be up for work the next morning. Yeah, that is definitely more what I was wanting. Except I had green coming into it. But, so we're going to do a little bit of some glimmer, because I like the glimmer. Not a whole lot. But just like I did with the eyeshadow, which, by the way, this is that fabulous palette I was talking about. It's freaking huge. I'm actually going to use the black, the Hamlin, for the navy. Since I'm just using a little bit, and a lot of it's going to dust off. Just to give it some real depth at the edges. I grabbed a couple other palettes in case I needed them. I did not. I was able to do a 1 palette look. So yeah, the dogs, they go to bed with me when I go to bed, but then when Wolf goes to bed, they get kicked out of bed. And Anna, who's been my little protector since I left my ex-husband, because I've had her for over 6 years now, she sleeps in our doorway of our bedroom, because she's protecting me. Like, she'll do that while I'm getting ready for bed too. So, and then after that, she'll jump in bed and cuddle up against me. Jazz likes to cuddle in the bed, and they kind of like argue over who's going to get to the bed first a little bit. Not too bad. I use the Beauty for Certain, the skin color one, to kind of make sure that the color stays where I want it to. I feel like it's the only thing this palette is good for. I truly despise this palette. There is one color, maybe two, I will use. I will pan. And I'm not, the espresso and the cocoa, just the whole thing does not look how I want it to. But it does good for kind of making the lines look how I want them to. So I don't know if that's a trick that beauty professionals use or not, but it's something I use. So yeah. So last night, the dogs, as usual, came to bed, and Jazz got the bed first. So she was cuddling with Mama and fell asleep with her head on my hand. And I fell asleep peachy keen, as I do. First night this week that I fell into a deep sleep and like stayed in the deep sleep. It was amazing. It was wonderful. I was finally getting rest until 1:30 a.m. when I woke up to growling and wrestling dogs. Now, our dogs are best friends. They really don't fight. They really don't argue with each other much. They're very calm. They're very tame. And they love each other. But Anna is definitely alpha among the two. And a lot of that is just because Jazz is a very passive dog. And part of that is because the dog I had before Jazz, Merida, was the alpha, even though she was an itty bitty terrier. And Anna was pit bull lab, or not pit bull, Rottweiler lab. But Merida ruled the roost, and Anna let her because Anna's a pretty passive dog herself. But part of that was, if I didn't feed them in separate rooms, Merida didn't let Anna eat until she was done eating. And when a new puppy came along, Anna decided, nuts to that, I'm gonna take charge. And so now she's a little food aggressive. She's really good about it, and like, all I have to do is call her and she will back off and stop being food aggressive. But she's food aggressive. And we know this, and Jazz knows this. And so Jazz will like go in, grab a mouthful of food, which she just did, and then bring it back to her corner where she likes to sleep and spit it out and then eat it in little pieces, which is just something we love. Not really. It's annoying as hell, and we find little pieces that she missed from time to time, and that's not fun. Other than that, they get along great. And neither one of them is the type to gorge themselves. They only eat when they're hungry, and they don't overeat, which some dogs will overeat, like to the extreme. But our dogs don't. They are very well behaved when it comes to that. So we just leave food out all day, and they eat when they want, and Jazz kind of eats around Anna, you know? She lets Anna get her fill, and then she will go get her fill, and there's always enough for both of them. So I thought when I first woke up, the way they were growling, I was like, is there somebody in my house? Like, what the hell is going on? There's two giant dogs fighting on my bed, and not like nipping at each other, but just growling and wrestling. What was the problem, you ask? Anna had figured out Dad's not coming home tonight. Because normally Jazz will cuddle with me for like 30 to 45 minutes, about till I fall asleep, and then she gets bored and goes back to the living room where Dad is to see what he's up to and lays with him. And that's when Anna can jump up and take over the bed and get her cuddle time. And Anna's very, very happy to cuddle by just laying back to back with me, just so she's touching me. Dad wasn't home, so Jazz never went to go hang out with him. And Anna decided it was her turn on the bed. So from a dead sleep, these two little assholes woke me up the first night I actually got a deep night's sleep. I was so mad at them. Plus, they scared the crap out of me because they were growling like somebody was in the house. So, you know, I'm reaching for my pew-pew thinking I need to defend myself. Although the door was locked and I would have heard somebody bust in. I wasn't that asleep. But, yeah. No. They were arguing over who got the bed. So my response was to kick them both out of the bedroom, put the gate up, go outside, have a cigarette, come back. By then, Jazz had fallen asleep in her kennel with the door wide open. We no longer lock her in the kennel unless we're going to be gone for an hour or two, because she does still have a tendency to chew things she doesn't need to. But she's mostly gotten out of it. So as long as we're home, we don't close the door, but she still loves the kennel. Honestly, they both do. And if we're in the living room, we never know which one's going to be sleeping in the kennel. In fact, it's sometimes both of them cram themselves in that kennel and sleep. So it's very much their house, and they love it. And when we do close the door, we always give Jazz treats, so she associates it with good things. It's not a punishment. And I know some people have very strong feelings about kennels, but if you know anything about dogs' natural preferences, dogs prefer tighter enclosed spaces for their homes. They will generally make their homes in dugouts or caves or holes or under the roots of trees. That's where they prefer to sleep. So a kennel kind of mimics that. And especially with the door being open so they can come and go as they please, there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, by the time I came in from having a cigarette, Jazz had fallen asleep and she didn't feel like waking up. So when I went back to bed, Anna followed me, and Anna ended up winning the war. And we both slept soundly until 6 a.m. when my brain turned on. So that was the drama while Wolf was gone. Normally when Wolf comes to bed, the dogs can't get back on the bed because it's just not big enough for the two of us plus two big dogs, or even one big dog. The cats normally sleep with us, at least one of them. Sometimes all of them, at least one of them always. Charlie loves to curl up on Wolf, and sometimes Ezzy will curl up at my feet. However, she has a bad habit of, when I'm tossing and turning, she will think I'm playing a game with her and attack my feet under the blanket, and even then I get claws in my feet, and in my not quite awake state, I don't know what's going on, so I kick. And more than once, I have sent my poor little kitty flying off of the bed. She's always fine, but she has finally learned to not sleep at Mom's feet, because that is not a safe place to sleep. So she generally, she'll come cuddle up, and sometimes she'll sleep between our legs, between our feet, but she does not try to attack my feet anymore, so yay. I really don't enjoy waking up and hearing "Rah!" as my cat flies across the room. I'd never do it if I was awake, but I can't help it when I'm asleep. So she gets what she gets. And she's learned. Huh, Jess? Yeah, my little attention hound. Yeah, you good girl. You'll go out when Daddy comes home. Hasn't been that long. It's only been like an hour. You're fine. You just want attention, huh? Yeah, you want neck scratches. Oh, that feel good. Anyways, Wolf will be home at some point in the next hour, hour and a half. Last time I heard from them, they were in Yellville. Oh, Jazz is giving Lucy kisses. Lucy likes that. And that was about 30 minutes ago, so they're probably about to pull into the school now. Jazz, good girl. Wolf has to take the kid to Grandma's house where he's staying tonight and visit with Grandma, or Wolf's ma and stepdad. I was supposed to meet them there, but as I said, I'm in a flare-up. And although my medication actually has me feeling okay, and I've asked him to bring home some over-the-counter painkillers, I think it's going to be a light one, thank God, because I don't want to take another day off work. And this one started so late in the day, I was really worried I would end up having to take off Monday. And that would be my husband saying they have reached the school. Yay, so they're safely home. I did say this was a giveaway video, and if I didn't, I'll stick my little I forgot thing in there. So, here's how the giveaway works. when I'm doing a giveaway video, I tell you at the beginning, you watch, and at some point during the giveaway, if I'm unboxing, it's whenever I get to the thing I'm going to add, I will add something cool to the giveaway. Every time I do a video where I add something, you can enter. So you may have 7, 8, 9, 10, or now that they're quarterly, up to 15 to 20 chances to enter. I typically add at least one item a week, sometimes 2 or 3. I'll tell you right now, I do not add items during my diamond painting videos. I do not add items during my video game videos. So if you don't like those things, you don't have to watch them. If you do like those things, by all means, please watch them. I do them during unboxings and gets ready with me's. Not every get ready with me and not every unboxing. Sometimes during review videos, but it will always be during one of my talkie videos when I'm up here. So this is the 4th video where I'm adding something to the giveaway. This giveaway will be drawn on Black Friday, and if you don't live in America, it is the Friday after the American Thanksgiving, and I should really look and see when that is because I have no frickin' clue. September, October, November. Thanksgiving is November 27th this year, so it's the 4th Thursday in November. So I will be drawing this on November 28th. And whoever wins will win a box that by then will be worth $200 to $300 in makeup, crystals, and all kinds of random stuff that gets added. You see, I have this big old box that as I get stuff that is good for the giveaway, whether I'm at Five Below, whether it's from a makeup box where I get multiple things that I could add, or it could even be like we have random crystals that we wrapped up from when we were selling crystals. You might get a random, I don't even remember what it is, crystal. But I'll give you a little sneaky peek. It really is full of stuff, so you never know what you're gonna get in the giveaway. And the way it works is I just kind of reach back and draw something out if it's a get ready with me video and I wasn't receiving something. Now this is going up on Wednesday. I will be unboxing my Allure September box on Friday, and there will be a giveaway on Friday as well. It will come from this month's Allure box. What is already in the giveaway is the Fresh Prince, the Glamlight Fresh Prince Setting Spray, Juvia's Place, the Nubian by Juvia's Place Loose Highlighter in the shade Nefertiti, which is a really fabulous gold, a Lorella lipstick in the color Fifi, a Lapis Lazuli keychain. These are really sturdy. I've had one on my keys for over 6 months now. It is solidly there. And I'm not reaching back and drawing something because I did that this morning when I filmed this the first time. But today what was added was actually contributed from Wolf, and it's from an advent calendar he had last year, and he realized he still had all these little guys sitting around. So they're now going to be parts of giveaways. And it is a little Oogie Boogie statue. Like I said, the things that we're adding are very random. So right now, this is about a $10 to $15 product. This is a $10 to $15 product. This is about a $7 product. We sold these for $10, so 10, 20, 25, 35, and I'm gonna count this as $1. It's already at about $36. And we are only 2 weeks into September, and it goes all the way till Black Friday. So this is gonna be a massive giveaway. If you want your chance to enter for this video, all you have to do is click the link down below. It doesn't ask for a lot of information. It asks for your email address because I will contact you from my personal email, which is nightingale@gmail.com. If you get it from anybody else, it's a scam. Don't listen. If somebody comments under you saying, "You won," it's not me. Don't fall for it. I will email you from my email. Now, sometimes it takes me a week or two to get these sent out. Don't fret, it will go out, I promise. It's just sometimes I have to wait for paydays, which is the case for the summer giveaway. It hasn't gone out yet. It will go out next Friday. So there are rules that are very simple. Number one, you have to be following me. That's why I ask you to post your YouTube profile. It makes it easier for me to figure out if you're following me or not. I've gone through a lot of different ways, and the easiest way I found is use your profile so I can because what your channel name is or what you call yourself is not always what YouTube calls you. So having a link to your profile just helps me track. And you have to be following me on Black Friday. I will be checking, and if you're not following me, I will draw somebody else. So sorry, you're committed. That's rule number one. Rule number two is you have to be 18 or older. I do add skincare to the giveaway from time to time. There will probably be skincare added. I know there's skincare in that box, and I know there's skincare coming. And some skincare is not meant to be used on minors and can actually damage skin that is not fully developed. Like anything with retinol, you should not start using retinol until you're in your 30s. It will hinder your collagen development. I have learned so much about the science of this since I started a year ago. So that's why I say you have to be over 18. There's also laws in various states and blah, 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 blah. And then I have to ask your address, and I want parent permission. So we're just going to say you have to be 18 and up. If you are under 18 and you want to enter, go find somebody who is considered a grown-up, whether they have their ducks in a row or not. Convince them to enter for you. Make sure they're following me. And then when they get the box, just take a finder's fee. There you go. That leads me to rule number 3. 1 entry per video per household. So if everybody in your family just loves Nightingale and loves watching me, I appreciate that. But we have somebody who abused that and lied. So I go to 1 entry per household now. And if I find out that you've been abusing that, you will be banned from this and all future giveaways. Look, I go out of my way to make these giveaways really awesome. This is 99% stuff bought with my own money. I'm not big enough that I get stuff sent to me for free. I mean, occasionally I do, but not very often. So 90% of what goes in these giveaways, I paid for. And I don't have a ton of money. But I do this because I do occasionally get stuff that I think is so cool I have to share it. Or I get a box and not everything in the box is stuff that I will use. So I like passing it on to people who will. And I do ask, if you get something in the box that you won't use, pass it on as well. Find a women's shelter, find somebody who will enjoy it, pass it on. Don't just throw it away. Yeah. So the last thing isn't really a rule, it's just kind of a thing. If you find a way to disrupt or ignore the spirit of this giveaway and cause me to make a new rule, you are banned from this and all future giveaways. And unlike last time, where I kept that person's username and name a secret, if I have to make another rule, it's going to be named after you. It's going to be the user123 rule, or whatever your name is. Because last quarter, there were 58 entries. Some of those people had multiple entries, but at worst, your odds of winning $250 worth of makeup and skincare and crystals was 1 in 58. Please tell me another giveaway that has odds like that. I would love to enter it, honestly. It's really good odds. So just play by the rules and be a good sport. Please, I'm begging you. I don't want to make any more rules. I don't want it to be a big thing. And if I have to keep making rules, eventually I'm just going to quit this shit. If it's supposed to be fun, and if it's not fun, I'm going to quit doing it. So this giveaway goes till Black Friday. What happens after that? After that starts Advent season. My goal is to open 12 Advents, one every other day, starting December 1st, going through December 21st. Or 24th. That should be 12 or 13 calendars. My goal is 13. So far, 3 are making their way to me. And the giveaway for December is going to be 1 item from each advent calendar. So you're gonna get an after Christmas advent calendar from me to you with items from all kinds of, and it's a variety, man. Like there's gonna be like some collectibles. Like I don't want to give away what I'm doing, but I'm doing some collectibles type advent calendars. We're doing some food advent calendars. We're doing some makeup and skincare type advent calendars. We're doing some wolf friendly advent calendars, meaning Wolf's gonna get involved and they might be for him. So there might be some men care included in your advent calendar. We're doing an alcohol advent calendar. We will not be sending alcohol as the gift. We will get a shot glass or some other related gift to send you in place of any of the alcohol because laws. So the December giveaway is going to be pretty awesome. You're not going to get the crap. I will tell you right now, like I know at least one of the advent calendars I'm getting has a scrunchie as one day. That's not going to be the item I throw in. For one thing, I constantly lose scrunchies. I need those things. For another, no, that's not the spirit of this. You're going to get good items. And the advent calendars I'm opening will range in price from like the one that I bought is $11.99. One that I bought is costing me about $400, including shipping and tariffs. That's a big freaking range. Now, it will probably lean more towards budget boxes than high-end boxes because unemployed. But I am doing everything I can to make as much extra money as I can to put towards the advent calendars. So there's going to be some really nice ones. I'm hoping there's going to be some crafting ones. I'm trying to get a witchy one. Like I'm getting a variety. This is not just beauty advent calendars. It's a little bit of everything. So spread the word. If that sounds interesting, hit that like and follow. Advent season is coming. I will be filming the first videos this weekend and you will start seeing this space behind me stop being storage and turn into my own little Christmas display of advent calendars. So that's all I got to say. Second time I filmed this and I think I actually made it a little shorter and got everything out quicker. So hopefully it'll be a lot easier to edit. But somehow I deleted the second half of this when I went to edit it this morning because I was on an editing spree. I filmed this at about 7 a.m. and then I edited from 8 a.m. until about 1 o'clock when I had to give in and lay down for a while. And then I got up at about 7, filmed take 2, and now I'm gonna go edit this so it's ready to go up on Wednesday because Friday we are unboxing September Allures box. But I have a whole like week of videos uploaded. I don't have gaming videos uploaded for the whole week yet. We'll see how that goes tonight and tomorrow. It depends on how bad this flare-up hits. Like, I get bursts of energy, and I just finished a burst of energy, and I am about to crash. I'm probably gonna crash in my chair and try to edit and play some video games, but we'll see. This isn't a bad one. Taking my anxiety meds seems to have relieved it a little bit, and since I just had a flare-up a month ago, usually when I have flare-ups this close together, they're not as bad. So here's hoping. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. Can't wait to go back to opening my Allure box. It was supposed to be here yesterday. It didn't show up. I was hoping it would show up today, Saturday, September 13th. Today's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday wherever in the world you are, sis. Haven't spoken to her in 10 years, but happy birthday. Just because we don't speak doesn't mean I don't wish the best for her. I have learned you can love people deeply and still not want them to be part of your life. I do miss my niece though, so Lainey, if you ever see this, I love you dearly. I miss you. I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous life, and I hope your mother does too. I hope you all are happy. Yeah. I have about half my family I don't get to speak to anymore because of stuff that honestly at this point doesn't matter. They have made their choices, I have made mine, and Some of those family members I have had the opportunity to kind of start to get to know again, and some of them I don't think I'll ever get to know again. And that's sad because we were very, very close growing up, but that's life. But I can love them and wish them well and recognize that we are not good influences in each other's lives. Unfortunately, I feel like my niece was kind of collateral damage. I never meant to hurt her, and I never would have cut her off or walked away from her, but I felt like I couldn't have my sister in my life anymore because I couldn't keep getting hurt by her lies, and I couldn't keep defending myself to the rest of the family when she would lie, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I made the decision to walk away, and some of my family chose to ignore everything they know about me and believe the lies, and some of my family has chosen to stay out of it, which is what I prefer. I don't care if they love us both. I don't care if they interact with us both. But unfortunately, some of my family made the choice to support one over the other instead of staying neutral, and that's their right. I will never stop loving them, but I have to be honest. My life is pretty drama-free. I mean, I just told you a story about the biggest drama in my life right now, and it's my dogs fighting over who gets to sleep in the bed. In the grand scheme of things, that's pretty damn awesome. So, all of that to say, happy birthday, sis, if you ever see this. Lainey, I love you and miss you. Losing you is the greatest regret of my life. To everybody else, I hope you are having a fabulous week, and I will see you tomorrow with a diamond painting and Friday with my allure box. Love you guys.